Tameside Radio Sports Talk with Betfred. Visit your local Betfred shop today for a variety of great offers and check out our app for great features like Pick Your Punt Builder. Whenever you bet, Betfred. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Well, hello and welcome. This is Sports Talk with me, Lewis Connell. And as always, I'm joined by Peter Spencer from Betfred. How are you today, Peter?
Yeah, great, no problems at all.
Fantastic. Weather's not quite as good as it was yesterday, was it? But
no, you can say that again.
But we'll get straight into it. We'll start with the Euros, of course. It's the first semi-final tonight with France taking on Spain. And we could find out England's potential opponents in the final. Obviously, we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but one of those two, whoever it is, would be a really tough task for England should we get to the final.
Yeah, if England do get to the final, they probably won't start as favourites because of the quality of the Spain team in particular. France have got this reputation of not ever scoring in open play, so they're getting a lot of stick in their country about the way they play. Spain are seen as the great entertainers, but quite frankly, I think France will probably do it with Mbappe. What a good battle that'll be with Rodri playing so well. His odds have been cut to be player of the tournament the way he's performing for his native Spain. And then we've got the big one.
Yeah, the big one, of course, taking place tomorrow. It's England against the Netherlands. And, they're no pushovers, the Netherlands, but if you was offered that before the tournament, you've got to beat Netherlands, particularly this Netherlands side. I know they've been great in the past, but this isn't a vintage side by any stretch. If you were offered that before the tournament, I think you would have definitely taken that.
Yeah, well, England remain the favourites to go on and win the tournament outright ahead of the game against Netherlands. Netherlands 11-5 to beat England. England 13-8. And then the draw 15-8. That's on 90 minutes, of course. To win the tie, Netherlands evens, England odds on 8-11. So England to win on penalties, that's an interesting one, 8-1. I thought the penalty taking was exemplary the other day. And the way that they structured it and took the time, thought about it, there was no rushing going on. You kind of felt confident that England would come through that game against the Swiss and get all those penalties. I thought that was one of the highlights for me, and there weren't that many until late on when he made his substitutions. Betfred have Harry Kane 4-1 to score the first goal. He's not having a great tournament, but as Fred Dome was telling me this morning, he is a highly capable striker, and if he does get that chance, invariably it does go in the back of the net. So Harry Kane is 4-1 to score the first goal against the Netherlands. Ivan Toney 5-1. Ollie Watkins 6-1. Gakpo, he's the top scorer in the tournament at the moment. He's 7-1. Phil Foden, again, not really had a great tournament. He's 8-1, same price as Jude Bellingham, who is grabbing all the headlines for various reasons, like the referee controversy, and also his goal scoring, that exceptional overhead kick, and his strange gesture when he scored a goal. But anyway, he's 8-1 with Betfred to score the first goal. England to win 1-0. That's proving popular. That's 11-2. England 2-0, 11-1, and possibly the one that I'd favour, England to win 2-1, 2-1 being the most common scoreline in the vast majority of professional football matches.
Yeah, as you say, England's not been the most convincing, but I think people are going a bit over the top in terms of criticising the manager. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's about winning in a tournament. You're not going to look back on this if we get knocked out and play really well against the Netherlands. You're going to look back on it if we get through ultimately, and I think we can have confidence from the penalty shootout, like you say. It was 5 out of 5, perfect. Pickford, you always fancy him to save at least one. So even if it does go that far again, you would fancy us again in that position.
Yeah, the way that England play, I think that people are saying they're in the best half of the draw, which they clearly were. But there again, that can work against you because these teams that we were up against were all underdogs against us, and therefore they play a very defensive structure, and we struggled to break them down. Despite the exceptional skills of people like Foden and Bellingham, we did struggle to break down those banks of four, which our opponents put up. Against the Swiss, it was a little bit different, although the same general principle. Now, against the Netherlands, it could be different again, although it is looking like not many goals in that game.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I can see it going to extra time at least, if not penalties. But hopefully we can get the job done and make that final. I mean, what an occasion that would be on Sunday. But we'll just move on now to the Betfred Super League. How are the outright odds looking for that?
Well, there was a big shock at the weekend because St Helens were beaten at home by Castleford. That's unprecedented. So the St Helens team are getting in the neck from people like Paul Sculthorpe, who writes in your paper each week. They are getting some almighty stick from him and others. The fan base is going crazy in St Helens. They're so used to winning. They're now 4 points behind Wigan at the top of the Betfred Super League table, and Wigan have got a game in hand. So it's looking more and more likely that Wigan will hold on to the victory in the grand final and retain and be champions again. So Betfred have Wigan 8-11 to be the outright champions. St Helens still second favourites, 3-1. Warrington against their 8-1. Catalans 10-1, the same price as Hull KR. Salford, they've been cut into 25-1 because they're on the same number of points, 22 points, as St Helens. And then we've got this huge game at the weekend where we've got Wigan Warriors taking on St Helens on Friday night, the Sky match, of course. Now that will be one heck of a game. It is the sort of a game when you'd expect Saints to put in a performance against the old enemy, Wigan. So in that game on Friday, Wigan are 2-7 because they're at home and they're a better team. Saints 11-4, and the draw is 20-1. It is looking as if rugby league is going through a transitional period, and they have announced only this morning that two of the clubs, Wigan and Warrington, are going to be taking part in games in Las Vegas next year. So that's been able to spread the footprint of rugby league away from the M62 corridor, not just in Britain, but across the pond in America. So those two teams are going to be playing against some Australian teams and New Zealand team, as it happens, in Vegas. And that'll be one heck of an occasion.
Yeah, fantastic news. And just to finish, we've got some political odds for you on the next leader of the Conservative Party.
Yeah, the dust is settling now on the general election. Of course, it was Labour landslide, as well predicted. And now the question mark is who's going to lead the Conservatives. Kemi Badenoch is the favourite with Betfred, 15-8. Robert Jenrick, 7-2. Tom Tugendhat, 11-2. James Cleverly, 9-1. Priti Patel, 10-1 with Betfred. And Suella Braverman, 20-1. Nigel Farage has been drifting now to 33-1. Basically because he's not a member of the Conservative Party, but that could all change. There's lots of talk now about the parties maybe getting together at some point to challenge Labour. But that's the latest on the political punting.
Fantastic. Well, just before we go, actually, we've got a story on a winner who has won £200,000 from a £1 bet.
Yeah, this lady, Araya Curry from Bury St Edmunds. She took part in the Betfred's own game, Nifty 50, and she won the jackpot. All the 5 numbers all came out, and those numbers were the numbers of a friend who'd been taking part in the National Lottery and left the numbers in a handbag. And she used those numbers, and it won £200,000 from a £1 bet. She works as a cleaner in a hospice, and also as a waitress in a Thai restaurant. Her husband used to be a fireman, is now a HGV driver, and they've got 2 boys. They work round the clock, hardly ever see each other, and you could not get a more worthy winner than these two. They're going to use the £200,000 to emigrate to Thailand. They've already started building a new house, a 6-bed mansion, and get this, £45,000 that's costing them. £45,000 for a 6-bed mansion in Thailand. So they'll be off there and no doubt have a better lifestyle with the £200,000 to spend as well. So absolutely brilliant story, and that's all over many of the papers today.
Yeah, that's fantastic news. We'll look forward to learning more about that, and hopefully they get everything they want. It sounds like they're very worthy winners, as you say. And if you do fancy a bet, like our great woman there, you can bet online, on the app, or in Betfred stores. And we'll see you at the same time on Friday.
Tameside Radio Sports Talk with Betfred. Visit your local Betfred shop today for a variety of great offers, and check out our app for great features like Pick Your Punts Builder. Whenever you bet, Betfred. 18+, begambleaware.org.